The Southern and Northern Leaders and Elders Forum has raised the alarm over purported plans by some government agencies to truncate the nation's democratic rule based on selfish interests. The body says it's shocked over the quote coup end quote staged against the legislative arm of government. Public affairs analyst Lekon Oshinkoya joins me now from Abuja to discuss the development. Thank you for joining us on the news this hour. Can you hear me, Lekon Oshinkoya?
Oh yes, I'm with you. I can hear you.
Awesome. Have we come to terms first with the fact that this development is not peculiar to this administration? Recall in 2014, sometimes in November, it was some sort of the same scenario when the DSS and police laid siege on the National Assembly and we saw lawmakers scaling fences.
Yes, I think it's particularly important is that it's different from what happened in 2013 because at this time you can see like a lot of the most important thing that I personally found fascinating about this attack is that the DSS officials were masked. When you have a masked people, masked agent of the federal government come into the legislative arm of the government to come and talk and stop people from legislature from performing their role to represent the people, that is not the same as what we saw under Goodluck Jonathan, where people came in and then they were just being prevented, but the legislature can still skip the fence. They are still making an attempt. So it's still like, okay, we are being stopped, but we can still overcome the problem. But in this case, it didn't happen like that. We had masked men. That is not acceptable. That is a coup. It's like me saying that the DSS official took over the National Assembly. So we cannot even compare them at all. This is a bigger version of what happened under Goodluck. And this one is just a clear expression that democracy is under attack. And if we begin to ignore these small things that have happened in the past and we are saying, okay, it happened in the past under Goodluck, then why should we bother about it now? No, it happened in a bigger dimension. It happened in a way that we cannot even ignore it any longer, because the fundamental element of democracy is the principle of separation of power, meaning that the legislature exists aside the executive and aside the judiciary, and meaning that if an agent of the executive comes in to stop the legislature from existing, and that is a big problem. It means that all of us now, beyond the National Elders Forum, every Nigerian should be crying out from the mountaintop, except we are comfortable with the pre-1999 Nigeria that, I mean, I was in the university at that time, I knew what happened at that time, I knew how things were completely different from what we are seeing now. So if we want to go back into a dictatorship, then we can fold our hands and say that, okay, it's okay, we cannot, but right now, we cannot even, one thing we shouldn't do is compare. We cannot compare what happened under Goodluck with this one. This is a bigger part of it. This is a scale, it's more difficult because these DSS officials were harmed. They were harmed and they were masked. Two things that is just clearly showing that this is purely anti-democracy, and we should not by any standard accept it. And that is why people are saying, oh, this has to be investigated. Yes, there must be an independent investigation of what has happened last week it's a siege against democracy. It's equitable even to treason, because you can come and say that, why would somebody come and ask the authority to now come and say that, oh, the government is no longer existing. We are now taking the government into our hands by bringing our officials to come and take. What's different from what happened in military when the coup happens and say that, okay, we're no longer comfortable with what is happening with democracy. Now what we're saying is that we're taking power into our hands. The only thing that is remaining for that to happen is for us to have an announcement on the TV, radio, and people saying that from now on we're dissolving the parliament.
Just a minute, Lekon, if I may just interject to you and ask this question. Contrary to your opinion, there are some who would say that the reaction from the presidency this time is way better than what we had in 2014. We had an acting president who outrightly condemned this action and did not only stop there, but sacked the DG of the DSS.
Okay, I think every Nigerian has been very supportive and has been hailing the vice president for what he has done, the acting president, what he has done as an immediate effort. to say that, no, this is not what we stand for. This is not, I will not be in office and I will allow this to happen. And yes, but that is just a starting point, because this is a coordinated effort. I don't think just sacking the DSS DG is enough. That is why there has to be a robust response to this, by making sure that there's an investigation to exactly what would give the audacity for this to happen. This is even, we shouldn't even come near this at all. But we can say that, okay, yeah, in doing under Goodluck Jonathan, it didn't get this bad, and then the government didn't really respond this way. Yes, but it's just a starting point. It's just fine. We are all happy with that development. But then, and then what? And then we wait until it's too late for the presidency to act, and then the military has taken over, and then we wait until it's too late for anybody to, even when the authority of the presidency itself is going to be questioned. No, we can't do that. We have to make sure that under no circumstances should this ever happen to this country again. Some people lay down their life. They fought by every means possible, stayed in exile for us to enjoy what we have in the last 20
because of time. Thank you very much for your contribution on the news this hour. It's always very dramatic in pre-election year, and we're looking forward to a more permanent solution to all of these unfortunate developments.